You know that. You have no ego. You have no envy, the jealousy, the unfriendly. To love the light and the ways, one and only true arch enemy. And so it is, my dear, and so it was, and so it was, and so it was. And so for the last year and 6 months, you with the love, the light, and the way, have been cutting the dirty rottens' throats with cotton, one piece of the puzzle at a time. And so, my dear Peter Waterman, you have a beautiful heart and a beautiful soul. And this is your 12th lifetime to hit the miracle mark of 95% in the one and only smile, the heart. And you are the first soul ever to come down on planet Vadavadi, this once upon a time beautiful, not rudeful planet. Ah, it was the golden planet with the golden brown soil, and the bluest of skies, and the whitest, fluffiest clouds that anybody could ever imagine, and the water so crystal clear you could drink from the rivers and the streams. Even the lakes you could drink from. But then the people of this planet, they became ugly and smugly, and fugglier than fugly. And the indigenous Indians of the planet were beautiful, not beautiful, just like you. And you were here then. You were back here then. That was your first lifetime. And all of you had the original book of spiritual laws without a flaw, called The Verse of the Universe, my dear. The Verse of the Universe, my dear. The Verse of the Universe. And it had all the universal laws that were all but so obvious. They were all but so obvious, my dear. They were all but so obvious, my dear, dear, dear Peter Palpin, my beautiful heart and soul. I love you, I love you, I love you. And so it is, and so it was, and so it was, and so it was. And so, Peter Waterman, you have been chosen. You have been chosen out of all the souls to ever travel to this planet, because you're the first soul ever not to play the unholywood role, my dear, for 12 lifetimes in a row. And so, you've been graced with this amazing lifetime. And I know it has not been easy, my dear. I know it has not been easy. Because the sleazy and the sleazy and the slithering and the slathering, the lithering and the lathering, and the githering and the gathering, and the gatherer and the githerer, and the giverer and the deliverer, and the deliverer and the believer, and the benevolent and the incredible and the unedible, and the defeatable and the defeatable, and the undefeatable and the undefeatable, and the un and the un, and the undefeatable. You see, my dear, nobody can beat the one and only. Do you think he's going to let his children, the ones he created, beat him, the one and only great and powerful Wizard of Odds? The Wizard of Odds, the Wizard of Odds, the Wizard of Odds, my dear. There's no one more powerful than the Wizard of Odds. The Wizard of Odds, the Wizard of Odds. And the odds are, my dear, that only 0.00001% of all the souls that ever have come down to planet Earth have passed their 111-year at best test. 95% or greater in the one and only smug, the heart. And that's because ugly and smugly, down wrong fugglier than fugly, men and women, took my original works, the verse of the universe, and rewrote it. They rewrote it into books like the Libel Bible, and the Menorah Torah, and the Iran Quran, and well, any religious books that you see down there, scattered amongst other books in the library. But you see, Peter Watermelon, everything that's channeling from you, my dear, is from the one and only true bird. From the one and only true bird. From the one and only true bird. And so everything that comes out of your mouth, when it comes to the verse of the universe, and what you reap is what you sow. And the light is not in the forgiveness business, as Dino D would say. The forgiveness of business. Or, as Snoop Dogg would say, the snizzle in the fizzness, the fizzness business. The love's the nicest, the love's the nicest. The love, the light, the way is the nicest. As long as you stay in the one and only slice of nice, the one and only smart, the heart, my dear. And Peter, it's never been a problem for you. It's so easy because you always said, can't you see? It's obvious what's right and what's wrong. And what's right is called a moral, my dear. You know this. What's right is called a moral. And you cannot quarrel with a moral. You cannot quarrel with a moral. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, no, you can't. Nobody can quarrel with a moral. And it's more than obvious that if you come down for your 111-year at best test and you create a blackball list, or you're a part of a blackball list that was created in the name of hatred and jealousy and envy, the unfriendly, the love, the light, and the ways, one and only arch enemy, my dear. Ah, my dear, my dear, my dear, Peter Palpin, Peter Watermelon, the Knight of the Light, Peter John Paul, Peter Goodman Paul. It does not matter the name. All that matters is the heart of the matter, my dear. And you have a beautiful, not beautiful heart. Unlike those who created the blackball list out of Los Angeles and Unholy and New York City of pity and non-witty. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. I don't think so, Peter. Peter, I do not. I know so. I know so, Peter. Ah, Peter Watermelon. Peter Watermelon. We are winning our fight, my dear. We are winning our fight. I am the light down every hall and every wall. And I see what's going on behind the scenes around the world. Because you see, my dear, this blackball list involves the media in every country around the world. And they were all told a lie about Peter Palpin. They were told he's a homicidal maniac, a wackadoo, a crazy homicidal killer that's never been caught before. Never been caught before, never been caught before, because he's a genius at the same time, like Adolf Hitler. And they created this diabolical story about the most beautiful, not rueful soul never to play the unholy role. In other words, they turned my number one choice, and this is the one and only. They turned my number one choice, my chosen one, and tried to make him the frozen one, when all of them are the frozen ones and not the chosen ones. So they flip-flop the entire vidibidi and the vidabidi, and the vidubidabidi, bidabidubidabidabidi, and the dabadabadubidi, bidabadabadubidi, and the dibadabadabadabadubidabidibidi, the dabadabadubidabidubidabidibidi, the vabadubidabidubidabidabidubidi, the babadabadubidabidubidabidubidi.